learning how to create an emulation of a computer system, guest operating system environments running the same. Oh, this is cool. I don't understand anything I just read, but it sounds awesome. And it can significantly reduce up to 72% of my cost.
Wow.
Ooh.
Does it give you free laptops?
Google Instance Terraform. Oh. Google cloud-based virtual machines. How cool does that sound? I'm going to make a virtual machine. Deploys in minutes. $300 free trial. What? I'm in. I love free trials. I will do any free trial you throw at me.
Don't do the free trial until you know something more about it so you can actually utilize it.
I do. Oh, yeah. There's so many that I start. I have no idea. All the animation suites I did. I made a box. Took 2 weeks to make a 3D animated box that fell.
Yeah.
It was cool.
It fell.
Yeah, it fell. From it. You could lift it up and it would fall. And that was what that box did. And then I made the freaky mutant Eric and Gords. That was pretty cool.
That was definitely cool.
I actually made better ones after that, but it was only a free trial. I wasn't allowed to send them to you. Those ones I would pay for. They looked really good. But this is the shit I'm learning. Sorry, I know it's boring to you guys, but it's awesome to me that I can learn this stuff, and this can all become part of what Eric and Gord use in their arsenal of teaching, getting the truth out to you. If we have to use virtual reality to show you real reality, I want to be able to be capable of doing that.
Wow, that is a fucked up statement on its own fucking thought.
Yeah, right?
Using virtual reality to show you reality.
Yeah, it's getting to that point.
We just found our tagline for it.
If you're going to have your head buried in the device, a la the humans in WALL-E, then I'm going to have to figure out ways to show up on that device and get you off of it. And get you back in the real world, into my groups.
And back into our world where we will teach you the truth.
We have that kid. Hey, kids, if you haven't been over to visit the official, really, actual, real, whatever the fuck, the Globe Earthers page that I started and now completely neglect, we've been getting some genuine questions from genuine people on there, and it's been really cool and fun, and I've tried to answer in genuine, intelligent ways. I saw
the last one. I went to comment and got distracted by something else and totally forgot about it.
Yeah, that's how it goes. But yeah, he asked a real question, and I had to give a real answer, and that was neat. I love that, guys. Keep that up. Ask us questions about anything, and we will give you real answers. It doesn't always have to be about Trump and Trudeau. It could be about anything. Ask me about construction. I love answering construction questions. Bring your questions, Eric and Gordon. Get truth, get honesty, get real answers, especially you youngins out there. And by the way, something that happened to me on our week off, which was nothing like a vacation whatsoever. Some little arrogant son of a bitch, prick bastard, offered me his seat on the bus.
Oh.
I'm that old, apparently, that this prick on his way to college, to Cap College, this little sperm piece, son of a bitch, sir, would you like my seat? No.
You officially look old.
In no universe am I old enough for you to, sir, would you like my seat to me? No, fuck you, you little prick. I will fucking let my arthritic leg snap before I ever admit to that, you son of a bitch. Sir on its own is bad enough, all right? I am not prepared to be sir. But, sir, do you need to sit down? You look tired, you old bastard. Fuck you. I'm not that old. Gord, are we that old?
Yeah, we are.
Ah, Jesus Christ. When did that happen?
I'll even admit it. I don't know. As soon as we hit 40.
Why didn't somebody tell me?
Because we've been too busy ignoring it and trying to be youthful.
Yeah, well, that's true. And I've known for a few years that I'm not youthful. Like, I can't pull it off. I try to be cool, and I get a lot of eye rolls and giggles. from people because I'm not cool anymore. And that sucks.
Oh, by the way, folks, if you guys are ever on Facebook or whatever, and you come across a one of those links that send you out to answer these questions that will tell you something about yourself, whatever. And you find one of those, and it says, "Are you too old to go to clubs?" If you click on that link, you're too old to go to a club.
That's right. Yeah, that's very, very true.
There's your answer.
Although they are good practice for when you get to be our age, because being in a nightclub is just like being our age. You can't hear shit. People are standing right in front of you talking, and you can't make out what they're saying. Music sucks all the time. That's if you want to practice being old, go to a nightclub. Bunch of women won't talk to you. Everything's way more expensive than you remember it being. And you can't hear anything, and you don't like the music, and you wish you hadn't gone. That's your 40s as far as I've learning, now that I've just crossed into 41-dom.
Yeah, well, wait till you get to my fucking ripe age of fucking almost 45.
I'm not doing
it. I'm going to be 45 next month, dude.
I'm not doing it. I'm going the other way. I'm going backwards. I'm figuring out a way to reverse it. I'm stopping. That's it. 41's the end of the road for me.
So that means next year you're going to be 40.
Yeah, I'm going to figure that out. And you can't say I'm not, because that's how I choose to identify.
Speaking of, by the way, in Scotland or Ireland, I'm going to say Scotland. I can't remember which one. I think it was Scotland. A student got suspended for 3 weeks because the teacher in his class had started talking about gender and how many different genders there are, and the kid said, actually, that's wrong. There's only two. Scientifically, biologically speaking, there's only two. Anything else is just self-identification. That doesn't make it a gender. And the teacher got mad at him for it and said, basically, you're not allowed to form your opinion. And then afterwards, because initially he was just getting in sort of trouble for talking out, but then the kid recorded the conversation with the teacher specifically to release to the media because he knew this teacher was out of his fucking mind.
Of course.
And the conversation is pretty funny because the kid says, I still don't even understand why I'm in trouble. I haven't done anything wrong. He says, well, yeah, you said that what you said was discrimination. He says there's nothing discriminatory about it. It's a scientific fact. It is proven science fact that there are only two genders. Anything else is self-identification. That's not science. That's an emotional state.
Sure. Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
And the teacher starts getting mad at him for it, saying, well, you can't say that because that's just your opinion. He says, yeah, but you're stating what your opinion is. The teacher says, no, this is what the school's policy is.
Well, see,
but the policy isn't based off of fact. He goes, just because a policy isn't based off of fact or science doesn't make it less of a policy.
Yeah, but policy doesn't.
That's the problem.
Policy is not truth. You know what I mean? Policy is not fact. Policy is decided upon and agreed upon. It's not the way things are. See, this is where things go so far to the opposite side that they start to sound religious. When you're not allowed to state science in school, then that's where it starts being like Christianity. You know what I mean? When you go too far the other direction, then you're just a zealot like they are, and that's equally wrong. I'm sorry, you can't just preach these things, and then all of a sudden that's the way it is. There are two genders, yes, and I don't begrudge anyone their identity. I don't care if you identify as a fucking fruit salad. I don't give a shit. But at the end of the day, you are either a boy or a girl. Sorry, that's fact. You could change that. You could change. If you're a boy, you could become a girl. If you're a girl, you could become a boy. But you're still one of the two. I don't give a shit what you call yourself on Pride Week. Sorry, and I don't mean to offend you, but that's like saying LARPers need rights. Right? We got to start recognizing LARPers now for their whatever role playing they do in the woods with their dork friends.
No.
No, wait, you're not Zelda. You're not,
No.
and I'm not gonna call you Zelda at work. Take off the fucking cloak and go stock the shelves.
Am I allowed to identify as a multi-billionaire, so therefore I don't have to worry about paying for things because it should already be paid for me since I identify as a super rich person?
Sure, exactly. I could start doing that everywhere I go. Oh, well, now I identify as a handicapped person. I want the handy dart to pick me up tomorrow morning and drive me to my seminar. I want a free wheelchair. I want a free electric wheelchair. I now identify as handicapped.
Yeah, see, and this is the problem with this because, again, I completely agree with this kid just because it just... To anybody that is going to stand up and argue the fact of saying there's more than one gender, you need to go back to school, you need to take a science class, and you need to take fucking notes and pay attention.
Exactly.
You're wrong. There are only two. Technically three if you're born a hermaphrodite and you have both sexes. Then you're on your own little sort of subgenre thing on that side.
But
I'll just that.
You ultimately have to choose one or the other, even in that scenario for health and wellness. You do end up choosing one or the other at some point, if nature doesn't choose for you. So,
what your sexual preference is does not dictate what your gender is.
No, exactly.
That makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense.
No,
at all. There's no logic to that at all in the slightest.
And if that's the way it's moving, like if this is what kids genuinely believe now, we got some issues, and we have to get a health class going, get a science class happening, something.
See, all it tells me is that it just tells me that these kids have too much time on their hands. They're not interacting enough. They're not part of the social construct. They're not part of anything.
No.
Spend too much time in a virtual world creating problems where there aren't any.
This is what millennials will be known for. I promise you. Millennials will be known for creating idiotic problems, and they are going to have the most confused, frightened children. The offspring of millennials are going to be a disaster if they're raised to believe this shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
They're going to be unvaccinated, vegan, and completely sexually confused, which doesn't matter because they're not going to get grades in their science classes anyway.
Yeah,
but
I mean, they're going to be the ones that are going to be changing the. Yeah, well, that's just it. They're going to be the ones turning around and saying, "Well, we don't need to have grades anyways. Whatever answer you give is the right answer."
Well, of course it is, and it doesn't matter anyway because I identify as a straight A student.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't care what my test papers show.
Yeah, it doesn't matter what that says because I identify as a straight A student. All of my answers are correct. I identify as that.
Yeah, like, where does it end? That was the first thing you asked last summer.
Yeah.
Where how far does this go? And God damn it, if it's not already gone way farther than it should have. And I don't think anyone should be ridiculed, harassed, or otherwise intimidated for their sexual identity at all.
No.
But there is a time and a place to put your sexual identity in check and be a professional, be a citizen, be a whatever you have to be for the betterment of society and for yourself ultimately. It can't just be a big fetish club out there.
No. Let me put it to you guys this. It's very, very, very simple. Okay? You go to the doctor. Okay? You're going through your checkup. Now, you have two choices. You put yourself in the stirrups and have your vagina checked as a female, or you get your balls cupped and told to cough as a guy. That's it. That's as far as it goes. Because if you're a woman, if you have a vagina, you're a woman, you have a vagina, and you're saying, no, I identify as a man, and you're turning around and you're going to a doctor and saying, cup my balls,